Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well and looking to springtime just around the corner. On this week's episode, we're going to go through 5 reasons why we're really excited to move to Athens, Georgia, to an area just really close to there called Watkinsville. And last week we talked about some sad news that we are leaving Atlanta to get closer to Watkinsville, which is a great city that we're looking forward to raising our daughter Claire in.
And nothing against Atlanta. I feel like I don't want to make a Atlanta bashing video, but it's just things that we've noticed that doesn't really fit with what we're looking for.
We're pretty excited. Looks like we're going to be able to get this video out and keep our regular cadence up. I'm sure that everyone can see the moving boxes behind us, and the movers are actually showing up tomorrow to pack everything up and get us out of town. So we're cutting it close, getting down to the wire. You know, there's no minute like the last minute, so we're glad we're able to get this video out. But back to the meat of the video here. So the first reason of the 5 that we're really excited about moving to Watkinsville is just to really have a sense of community, a place where you can probably bump into your neighbors at the grocery store or the pharmacy or maybe anywhere around town, because it is a smaller town and everyone seems to know everybody or connected in some kind of way. Mm-hmm. We've really loved Atlanta and we've gotten a great sense of community here, but as Atlanta has experienced some pretty explosive growth, we found ourselves living kind of more of an anonymous lifestyle where you have to be very proactive in reaching out to people that you want to hang out with to go meet them somewhere, whether it be a park or a brewery. And so we've kind of lost that sense of community here in Atlanta over the last couple years.
Yeah, we also want Claire to be able to participate in activities and hobbies. We've got neighbors here and they talk about all the time that it takes them 30 minutes just to drive from our home over near Georgia Tech to Georgia Tech to drop their kids off to go swim. And it's just, we don't want her to have to be held back by traffic. And we also don't want her to also miss out on opportunities just because there's so many kids vying for the same opportunities for activities. We really want her to be able to get in there and just try different things out and see what she likes. And we just don't feel like she's got that opportunity in Atlanta. And nothing against Atlanta. I feel like I don't want to make a Atlanta bashing video, but it's just things that we've noticed that doesn't really fit with what we're looking for. And there always seems to be community events going on in the Athens and Watkinsville area that you can participate in, whether it's the Christmas parades or the Oconee Fall Festival, Trick or Treat on Main Street, Ath Fest, Twilight. There's really all kinds of things that you can go do. And I think that that's probably just like scratching the surface of things that like I remember as a kid. And I'm sure there's more things that we could get involved in. And I guess the one downside is that I'm going to have to wear makeup again when I go out in public, because when you're in Atlanta and you're anonymous, nobody knows you when you go to the grocery store. You can just basically look however you want. But I'm going to know some people when I go to the grocery store in Watkinsville, and I'm going to have to wear makeup again. So yeah, small price to pay. Yep. The second reason that we're looking forward to living in Watkinsville is the more relaxed lifestyle. And we are going to be a broken record here, continuing to talk about traffic. But it's just gotten so bad to where we just don't feel like we can leave our house without an extreme level of anxiety, because it takes us forever just to get out of our neighborhood. And then once we get there, we don't even know if we're going to be able to find parking, who we're going to have to try to get in a fight with to get into a parking space. That's just like trying to get around town, not to mention like the high pace of life. We just feel it every day. And that was really great when it was just the 2 of us, the go, go, go lifestyle. But we have transitioned to something different, and we just want to have a more relaxed lifestyle to where we can be a lot more spontaneous.
Mm-hmm. Being spontaneous is a big part of who we are. And a few weeks ago, my parents were watching Claire just for the weekend, and we wanted to be a little spontaneous and go out to dinner. And we barely found some dinner reservations, and they were about 10 miles up the road. And so we try to be a little bit more spontaneous and say, hey, let's go eat appetizers somewhere. Well, we couldn't get an Uber, so we had to walk because we were going to have a few drinks that night. Then we had to wait 45 minutes for another Uber because we didn't want to pay for the Uber Black to come get us. And so it's almost getting where it needs to be like a chore to go out sometimes. So maybe we went out at the wrong time.
Maybe.
I'm not sure, but it's we want to be more spontaneous and be able to kind of go where we want to and show up when we want to and not have to be very competitive about dinner reservations and grabbing an Uber. The third reason that we're really excited about moving to a smaller town is because, if we haven't said it already, it's very kid friendly. No one likes paying taxes, but it's a fact of life that we're all going to have to pay taxes. And when it comes to paying school taxes, we really feel like this public school system in Watkinsville is great. And it's not just our opinion. There have been a lot of third-party research that say it's one of the top school systems in the state, if not the country. And we're really excited to leverage our tax dollars and send Claire to a great school system when she gets older. And it's also uniquely positioned in that you can go to any elementary school, middle school, or high school in the county, even if you're not zoned for it, provided that there's enough room. So the bus route may not come and pick you up if you want to switch different schools, but if they have availability, you can go there, which I think is really cool to have a different experience and
You
go
kind of
choose where you want to go. And if your friends change, you might be able to change with them too. And I'm really excited about that. And so is my wife, Jessie.
One of the things that we also find pretty valuable is that there's a lot of free stuff for kids and families to do. You don't have to pay to go to the zoo. You don't have to pay to go to the state botanical gardens. You don't have to pay to go to the nature center. There's a lot of public libraries, a lot of pools, a lot of dog parks, nature centers, playgrounds, tons of outdoor stuff to do, and that you just don't have to pay for. It's also really nice that I feel like we could go to a restaurant there and our kid's not going to be a burden on someone's night. And we're not going to be the only people also that only have a kid there. And so it's just very much more socially acceptable to bring your whole family to your community. And we really like that. And one of the things that's also really cool is that Claire's actually going to get to go to the preschool that I went to back in the 80s. And it's still going. It's still a great program. Childcare on a whole is a lot cheaper out in Watkinsville compared to Atlanta. So that's a huge benefit. And it's just overall, we feel like we have like a lot more breathing room to be able to live the life that we want to live now that we're parents. Even their live, work, play models look a little bit different in Watkinsville than they do in the city. So there's a place called Wire Park that you actually may have read about in the news that is an old wire manufacturing plant that's getting redone, and it's going to be a live, work, play concept. So there's going to be townhomes, there's going to be some standalone residential, some light manufacturing there, retail, offices, restaurants. There's Watkinsville's first brewery going in, which is a huge deal if you grew up there and knew that Watkinsville used to be part of a dry county. And so that's so huge, big change for the county.
Get a brewery.
Yeah. And there's also going to be an amphitheater, a place for outdoor concerts and music. And one of the things that I think is really cool is they're incorporating the new public library as part of this live, work, play. And then also there's going to be, wait for it, batting cages for all the kids. So I don't know, just it's so different, but that's what we're looking for. If we didn't have a family, maybe that wouldn't be the right fit for us. But where we are in our life, that sounds like heaven, honestly.
Sounds awesome.
The fourth reason that we're looking forward to moving to Watkinsville is the lower barrier to entry for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Owning our own business is something that we would love to take a crack at one day.
Yeah.
We don't really know exactly what it's going to be yet. We've got some ideas, but we just feel like in a smaller town, the barrier to entry is a lot lower than it is in a city. It feels a little bit more pay to play in the city, and I just don't think that's a barrier that we're willing to cross here. But in a small town, it just feels like something that's a lot more approachable.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that we definitely want to do. And we have some ideas, anything from a fish market to some rental houses to workout studios. So as you can tell, we're all over the place. But really what's important is that we want to be able to invest in the community that we're living in. And again, like Jessie said, it does feel a little pay to play here in Atlanta, a lot higher barrier to entry. And so we feel like this will give us a great opportunity to invest back into the community, while at the same time kicking off some of our entrepreneurial spirit and starting a business of our own. The fifth and final reason why we are really excited about moving to Watkinsville is just the vibrant culture that's around Athens and around Watkinsville as well. It really has that small town Americana feel, and we're really excited about having Claire know what that small town feels like and not always the constant hustle and bustle of a big city. I went to college at Ole Miss, and it was probably some of the best years of my life because there were no parking garages, there were just a few stoplights, and I remember that I could show up somewhere 5 minutes late and still kind of be on time. And that's the kind of feel that we want, just a slower, more relaxed pace in life. And we're also going to be, as we've mentioned before, really close to family and friends. And so that's very important for us to be near family all the time. And there's always something for everyone. So even if you're into riding horses, lappies, there's always something to do for anyone in Watkinsville and Athens. And we're very excited about that.
Yeah, I think what's neat is that Oconee still has a very rural feel. So you can get that, like, so I grew up on a farm. My parents still live there. We could expose her to that farm kind of life, which is really important to me, especially as a woman who grew up working on the farm. I want Claire to have that opportunity to be connected to that in some way. But then also too, like down the road, there's Athens, and it's super vibrant, and that, you know, Watkinsville is as well, but it's just in a different way. There's a big music scene, there's restaurants, there's breweries, there's art, there's all kinds of stuff that you could really get into. And that blending of the cultures between like the rural, but then also just the art scene, which Watkinsville is starting to get a lot of that spillover as well, because it's just such an important thing to that area. And what I love about Watkinsville is it always has like that nice little kid spin to it as well. So you can always bring your kid. It's not an issue.
There you go. Bring them with you.
One of the other cool things about Watkinsville and Athens is that there's a ton of outdoor stuff to do. And I think this is maybe something I took for granted as a kid, but the running scene is great there, cycling, you can get into mountain biking, horseback riding, fishing, golfing, kayaking, triathlon, like really anything you want to do, and you don't have to sit in traffic to go do it. So for us, you know, as adults who have participated in that stuff in the past, we no longer feel like we can necessarily do that here in Atlanta just because there's so much time taken away just by sitting in traffic. It's really important for us, you know, especially as parents, that we still get to maintain that part of our identity. And we feel like we'll actually be able to get to do that kind of stuff here.
And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention UGA and college football lifestyle. We're really excited about that. It's kind of ironic that as soon as the Braves win the World Series, we leave town, but it's also good to know that UGA finally brought home the national championship. Was really, really cool. So we love college sports, and we're excited about the college sport lifestyle as well.
Yeah, definitely.
If you made it this far, we appreciate everyone sticking around to the end. Atlanta's been really good to us, and we are going to miss it, but we're only an hour and 10 minutes down the road, and so it's going to be really easy to come back and still take Claire to a Falcons game if they can ever get their act together. definitely to a Braves game, to the aquarium, and some of the places that we've really enjoyed coming to. But I think overall, just a bit of a slower pace in life is something we're really excited about, and we're still not too far away from the great city of Atlanta that we've gotten to know for so long. And the movers are going to show up here tomorrow, so we're probably going to relax and have a beer and pack up the last couple things. And we appreciate everyone sticking around to the end again. If you would give this video a thumbs up, it really helps out our channel. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. It lets us know that you enjoy this content. We'll keep creating it for you. And in full disclosure, it was 21 degrees this morning, so we chose not to film this at the boat because it was absolutely miserably cold. It was beyond
Hopefully
worse.
this is it.
This is it. We're done. Springtime is around the corner. We can't wait for it. So more boat videos to come up soon, and we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.